It's your boy Price the Box. We've been out here Entertainment.
On the first episode, we had the opportunity to interview Toronto High School coaching legend Bob Maydo. Following that is another interview with OCAA MVP Yusuf Ali on his inspiring season last year with the Seneca Sting.
Thank you for taking some time out to sit down and have this interview with me. I really appreciate it. The legend.
The legend got started. Frank Ziccarelli, he's a sports reporter for the Star, for the Sun, and he was at one point in time was the high school reporter. You don't get so much of that now, I guess, with cutbacks and everything. But he used to cover high school sports, and he was writing an article about one of the games we were in. And in the article, he referred to me as legendary coach Bob Maydo. And since then, it's kind of stuck. I've made all sorts of people say, oh.
What would be your most memorable moment?
I've been in it so long that there's lots of them. I can tell you several. All my memorable moments are team things. So if you're expecting an individual performance or something like that I don't have those, but I have all sorts of beautiful memories about situations in games and about certain games. One of the memorable moments was a game that you were in. It was at the provincial championships. We were playing Eastern Commerce, who were ranked #1 in the province at the time. It was a quarterfinal game. We had really started to play well, and we knew that we were quite capable of winning the provincial gold medal at that particular time, and so we meet them in the quarterfinals. The game ended up going into triple overtime. I think it was triple overtime. We had lost a couple of our starters on foul shots, but at the end of I can't remember if it was regulation time or...
I believe it was regulation. Maybe you were setting up that inbound play.
Yeah, I think there was a 1 point. It was either tied. It was tied.
And it was 0.1 second. I mean 0.7 seconds. Something like that.
Yeah, and we run a play where we get a back screen and we have someone coming in, and it usually ends up with a dunk. And so the play starts. My goodness, we're going to take down the #1 team, and I really believe that we would have won the gold medal because I know the team we were going to play in the semifinals. They beat us earlier in the season, but I know we were going to beat them, and we were going to play Pickering in the finals. And
we had a rivalry. I had my rivalry with my friend Devo, and he knows it was about to be on. He could talk all he wants to say, what he wants to say, but he knows that whenever we faced, it was a battle, and we won most of the battle.
Inside, I'm ecstatic, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if our rebounder got a little bit excited, but the pass was a little bit errant. You weren't able to catch it cleanly. You had to reach back to catch it, and we couldn't finish that play. But it was there for the taking.
It would have been glorious.
Yeah, and we worked around. We got a shot. Maybe not the best shot. Went into a couple overtimes, 2 or 3. I think it was 3 actually, but it might have been 2. And we lost a couple starters in the overtime. And it was a close game, but I remember how hard fought it was, and inside I'm celebrating, and then to end a game like that on a dunk, and it was there for the taking, and just a pass was a little bit behind, and let me tell you a little story. I don't know if I've told you this before, but this past summer, someone that I teach with has a summer place in Prince Edward Island. She was listening to CBC radio, and Roy Brana was being interviewed. He got appointed a temporary coach with the national team. They were going to a qualifying tournament somewhere in Europe or South America, and they interviewer was interested in how we got to start. So when he was describing that, I got a text from my colleague to say she was listening to the radio and they were talking to him, and they started talking about, he started mentioning how he got started in high school basketball. And I don't know how it came up, but he said the only coach I couldn't beat was Bob Maydo. I mean it when I say, it doesn't matter what city I go to, I run into somebody through basketball that wants to talk about them or that mentions them.
A shot, no problem.
He was so good in so many different aspects of the game, the passing, the ball handling, being able to score inside and outside.
Look at the magic, and boom.
There's no question in my mind, I've been coaching for over 40 years. He's the best high school player ever to come out of Canada.
Phil Dixon was Toronto's original prodigy, a surefire NBA star.
Philip Dixon, and there's the basket.
He was Andrew Wiggins before Wiggins was even born.
There's Dixon again, and he cans it again.
In 1989, his senior year of high school, Dixon averaged 40 points per game, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists.
You didn't know what he was going to do. We had people from all over the province coming to watch him play.
Dixon working it way up court.
Back in those days, nobody worked as hard as me on the court. So I knew that.
Like when Philip was playing, we played, you know, Riverside Church, the best club team in the States. He'd score 60 points. We played the Ohio champions, I can remember. He scored 60, 70 points. So he scored points against tough teams. But at the same time, he was never selfish when he did it. And
It's crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy.
and you know, and I can remember the coach when we were playing that Ohio team. He said, I looked at the score sheet, I couldn't believe it. Because he scored quiet points. He followed the shots, he got putbacks. He
fast breaks,
yeah, everything. He scored so many different ways. You would think when the game was over, you'd say, oh, you know.
30 and 25.
Yeah.
Minus
Now,
50.
his last game, now this is a recollection of an individual thing. He was playing on the Toronto All-Star team. They're going to play a team in Rochester. They had a three-point contest. He won the three-point contest. He sunk 14 out of 15 balls. They had a dunk contest. He won the dunk contest. And then in the
All-Star
game,
game
he got MVP and 45 points
Monster.
in his last high school game.
Monster.
But and I can say, like, it was an no, the All-Star games are a different animal, right? But let's say in the games that we played with our high school team, he was always very unselfish. But yet he would score a lot of points. And so if somebody was ahead of him, he'd pass the ball. He'd, you know, so
Automatic for me.
yeah, and so you know, when hearing people scoring 80, 90, 100 points, and then you speak to people, and you know, the rest of the team got told, you got to pass him the ball. Okay, that's not right. You know, we're not practicing and playing for four guys just to be passers in the game, and that's not going to get your team prepared for
That big show.
for the big show, yeah, for the playoffs when you know you live or die by the win. If you lose, right?
We're tied with 6.6 to go. Denham Brown guarded by Morrison. Denham Brown, good!
They're going to put one or 2/10 of a second back at most. I have to watch the clock. So it's really meaningless at this point. But Denham Brown, who has shown...
Legend.
Yes.
111. Mr. 111. Greatness.
Well, you know, Bathurst closed down, and I moved here. I didn't know where I was going to go, and you know, he maybe had other plans, but at the beginning he was waiting to see where I was going to land, but it was such a long process, so he chose to go somewhere else. But I can tell you this, and you probably know that already, he wouldn't have scored 111 points.
Make somebody score 60 points. I want to score 60 every game. In my brain, I was going for 40 every game, regardless, but you took me up before the 40.
Yeah.
Every time. Like, he would not let me get 40 points, guys. He would not.
I wouldn't let anybody get through.
A great season at Seneca College. We won the OCAA tournament and the Canadian College tournament. We went 41-0. We were blessed this year. We worked hard today in practice. We had an incredible coaching staff. Our teammates did an incredible job this year. Man, it was something incredible for our community and something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. It was actually a grind every day, like being locked in. Our coaches met us every day before practice telling us we had a big plan this year. So every day practice we had to work hard, compete, and knowing that we had a bullseye behind our back and everybody wanted the top spot. So we just had to compete hard and work hard every day.
Well, talking about this basketball thing, you see I say, you can score in like 103 points on average and all that, what kind of foolish stuff?
Bro, man, I all started with like us moving to this community, seeing guys like Dane and Dwayne at the basketball court.
Oh, my brother them.
My brother them, you know, like them always giving back, like telling the young boys, yo, stay focused. And when they signed D1, that was like the biggest thing at the time.
Yeah.
It's like somebody signing to the NBA because guys don't make it D1 every day, you know?
Yeah.
So for us to see guys older than us succeed, it gave us that little hunger and fire, you know, to like emulate their success. Ahmed is, it's been an incredible journey to watch him. Him scoring 103 points, he's not going to college and replicating what he's doing. He's finished scoring 1,000 points in his total career at Eastern Florida. He led his team to another tournament final at Hutch. Unfortunately, they fell short, but he's done incredible things ever since he left high school at John Penn. Now he signed his letter of intent to Washington State. Everybody's rooting for him. Our whole community wants him to do well. And he's a product of this environment.